Have you ever looked at your career and wondered if you were on the right path? Maybe you've spent years working toward one profession only to realize that your interests, your goals, your sense of purpose have changed. If that's you, then you're not alone. Welcome to my channel. My name's Grace, and I'm a recently graduated U.S. physician who will be starting my intern year in family medicine. I created this channel to share my journey through medicine, medical education, physician life, and the lessons I've learned along the way. Whether you're a pre medical student, a medical student, a healthcare professional, or someone who's considering a career change into medicine, my goal is to provide honest insight and practical advice from someone who's been there. In today's episode, I wanted to share my story of how I started medicine as a second career. Unlike many physicians who knew they wanted to be doctors from a young age, my path was anything but traditional. When I started college, medicine was not my plan. I earned my bachelor's in geography. I was fascinated by the relationships between people, the environment, and how communities grow and develop. I really enjoyed my coursework. And at that time, I genuinely believed that geography would shape my long term career. But after graduation, I started working in the field as a Geographic Information Systems Technician, or GIS tech for short. It's a very low stress job, but my day was spent really at the computer with no interpersonal interaction. I found myself asking some difficult questions about why did I choose this as my career? Could I see doing it for the next 20 to 30 years? Was I making the impact I wanted to make on the world? Those questions really stayed with me. I just could not shake the feeling that I was meant to be doing something else. And the more I reflected, the more I realized I was drawn towards healthcare. I had always been interested in science, human biology, and medicine just seemed like the perfect opportunity to help people and combine those interests. The hard part was I wasn't a science major. I didn't have the prerequisite courses required for medical school. And like many career changers, I had to decide whether I was willing to go back to school and essentially start over. Returning to school for my pre med prerequisites was one of the biggest decisions I've ever made. It wasn't glamorous. I wasn't walking onto campus as a traditional undergraduate student with a clear 4 year path. Instead, I was trying to figure out how to fit classes like biology, chemistry, physics, OChem, biochem into my already established adult life. There were times when I questioned if I was making the right decision. There were times when I felt behind compared to other students because they had been preparing for medical school for years. I even failed the MCAT the first time I took it, and I had to defer applying to medical school for a whole other year. And it took me 2 years of community college to finish my prerequisites for school. It was hard every step of the way, but something interesting happened that I wasn't expecting. The further I progressed through the prerequisites, the more confident I became that medicine was where I belonged. Every class reinforced that decision. Every challenge reminded me why I had started. Every time I shadowed in the hospital or the clinic, I really remembered why I wanted to be a physician. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is that there's no perfect timeline for becoming a physician or for changing your career. It is hard, it's scary, the future's unknown, but I knew that I would regret not taking the leap. Medicine attracts people from all kinds of backgrounds. Your previous experiences don't disappear when you enter medicine, but they become part of what makes you unique. And in many ways, my first career and educational experiences really did help prepare me for medical school more than I realized at the time. They taught me resilience, adaptability, communication skills, and most importantly, they gave me perspective on the world around me. If you're considering medicine as a second career, my advice is this: don't let your non traditional path discourage you. Be realistic about the commitment. If you started off without the prerequisites, it may take a couple of years to get them done. In addition, you got to take the MCAT, volunteer, shadow, and possibly do research. The journey is long, and a lot of the time it is very discouraging. But also recognize that your life experiences can become one of your greatest strengths when applying to medical school. You are not behind. Medical schools value applicants who can bring diverse experiences and unique perspectives. And patients really benefit from physicians who understand that life's path isn't always a straight line and things aren't always cut and dry. If you're currently thinking about making a similar transition, I would really love to hear your story. Leave a comment below, let me know what field you're coming from and what sparked your interest in medicine. And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe it and maybe share it with someone who may be considering medicine as a second career. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.